Hi, my name is Mike Aben and welcome to Rogue System. This is the third episode in what's going to be a short series where we're showing what can be done already in this early release of this game. In the first two episodes, we did some undocking. We undocked from a station, we powered up and then undocked from a station. Then we looked at the navigation system and how to navigate to another planet. And right now in this third episode, while we are closing in on our destination, which is this small moon here around this planet, zoom out, which is the second planet in this solar system. Zoom back in, select it. Now we're still a little bit of a ways away. So we're going to be doing some sleeps. Actually, there's supposed to be suspended animation, I believe. There's SAN, suspended animation. I don't know, whatever. It's supposed to be suspended animation, I believe, rather than sleeping. But it only goes in 3-hour chunks, so I can't imagine. I don't know. Suspended animation seems like a big deal. You wouldn't do that for just 3-hour chunks, right? But again, that is a system that is supposed to be improved upon as this game continues in its development. So, whoa! We're spinning around. Don't like that. Let's just cancel this. And okay, we're on. We should stop spinning now. There we go. Okay, something happened there. I've noticed that the whole navigation system, it's less than ideal. It kind of gets you in the ballpark, and then you gotta finagle yourself a little closer. I'm still not showing up on this local system map. Let's take a look at our current altitude. Let's select. This is our. Set that again. Okay, so we are. What's that? 553,000 kilometers away from our destination. Yet if we take a look at our altitude here, you can see we're in the what is that, about 105 million kilometers. So clearly that's not altitude above our destination. That is altitude above what has to be the sun, or the central star of this particular system. Okay. We are still technically in orbit about the sun here, so let's start off with, let's see if we can not see what we're aiming at. So we'll start off with that, and then we'll try and sort of zero this in a little bit, get ourselves a little closer to our bodies. So here we go. I don't know if that is our destination or not, or if that's the parent body, but there is definitely something that we're aiming at here. Something might be twinkling just below that blue dot there too. Don't know yet. So what we'll do is we'll put our faith again in the stellar navigation system. So we're going to open up our transfer panel. And all of these settings are still the same as what they were last time, so we'll just leave them at that, trying to insert us into a 550 kilometer orbit about this moon right here. We still have that selected as our destination. Yes, we do. So let's engage this here. Again, destination, reference frame, prograde. Engage that. And let's hit our... We have to sort of be going in that direction. Let's see what happens. We are accelerating. Oh, I know part of the problem here. I don't have this display in navigation mode. I put it in declutter, so we lost a lot of our... Whoops, I'm pushing the wrong button. Display. Navigation, that's what I want. There we go. Now we got our extra information showing us we are indeed accelerating in the right direction. Oh, we got ourselves the blue one, I think, is our destination. Yes, oh, you can see us here on the navigation, so we are very close, approaching our destination. So this is the moon about which we are orbiting. Our altitude's now sensible. Periapsis 565 kilometers, which is close to the 550 kilometers. We just need to bring this apoapsis down. We are still, of course, decelerating. Let's see what this is like when we're done. And we are apparently at our destination. What do we have here? We have an apoapsis of whatever, close enough. We're in an orbit. I really wish it would tell us what our inclination is. You know, here, let's, is this off now? Yeah, it is. Let's reorient ourselves here a little bit. That. Let's see if we can find something. I think this episode's going to be about finding something that is interesting, hopefully a space station that we can dock with. Okay. And then next episode, I think, is going to be the actual docking and powering our system down. So we're going to turn on our sensors here. And we're going to zoom out a little bit. And what we're hoping to do is to see something. Now keep in mind, we're still about 1,800 kilometers from the planet. And right now the scale, this is 125. So our sensors aren't even reaching to, not the planet, the moon that's there. So we'll keep increasing our scale here until we are including that. Now we're now including the moon. Now we haven't gotten anything yet. It is completely reasonable that any object, apparently every body in this system has something floating around it. It's completely reasonable that that thing may be on the other side of the planet, and also the strength of your sensor reading depends upon what the thing is and how far away it is too. So we might not be in range of it yet, or it might be being obscured by the planet. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit period a few times. We're going to start time warping our way around this planet. And hopefully something will appear on our sensors. Oh, something's popping in and out here. Let's take the time warp off. Something's closing. Here we go. Let's see if we can select that. Try and get it. So it's blinking in and out. It's time warp. Oh, there it is. Select nearest. Oh, shoot. So its range, also its size. It's not necessarily a space station. I've done this a few times, and the first time, attempt to lock. Okay, I got a lock on it now. So we got something over that way. It is, whoops. Oh, I lost it again. Looked like about 2,700 kilometers away. It is, I think, getting closer. Yes, it definitely is. Okay. Like I was saying, it's not necessarily a space station. And the first thing, there we go. Now we got our lock. So we are definitely, okay. Let's orient ourselves so we're looking at it. It is definitely, there we go. It's moving towards us. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it's moving directly towards us. Far from it, in fact. This is just, this velocity that we see here, about 1,500 meters per second, is just the component of its velocity that is in our direction. You can actually find a vector. Let me search around for it. That's our regular prograde. Oh, no, that's it. This is our prograde vector relative to our target, this guy right here. So we are actually moving relative to our target in that direction, but it is moving towards us. I hope that makes sort of sense. It would make more sense with diagrams, I think. That's this 1,500 are getting closer to 1,600 meters per second is its component. So it's because it's in its own orbit, of course, right? Now, if this were a space station, I am pretty sure, I'm still learning this part, we would get a button up here that would allow us to get some more information about this particular object. Instead, we're not getting, and then they'll like information like what its orbit is and stuff like that. We are not getting that information, so I think this is something else. The first time I tried this, I ended up just trying to rendezvous with something, and rendezvousing with things and with just the information we have here. There's no sort of mechanic to actually show us exactly what the orbit is or anything, any kind of aid to help us perform the rendezvous. And rendezvousing with things that are in orbit, you can't, when you're this sort of distance away, you know, about 2,500 kilometers away, you can't just fly straight at it. You have to take the orbital mechanics into play. And with just the interface we have here, that is a very, very tricky thing to do. Undoubtedly, this is something that's going to continue to be worked on, because the way it is right now, if I just aimed at this thing and tried to fly towards it, it becomes a frustrating affair rather quickly. Either way, I have found other things doing that. I found this really nice sort of derelict spaceship, which actually looks exactly like this derelict this ship here. I found that once, and I took a couple of screenshots to take a look at it. But what I really am interested in is finding a space station. This seems to me to be not a space station. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go someplace else. We're going to visit, let's zoom in on where we are, which is this one. Yep. And I want to go to the central planet here. So we're going to do a little bit of a shift from here to here. You do it in exactly the same way as what you did before. We are setting that now as our destination, 23.2. We're going to open up our transfer panel. We're going to take a look at here. All of this stuff I think still okay. Yeah, 550 kilo, why not? It's only going to take us a few hours to get there. So I think it's worth our while. Okay, we've apparently arrived at our destination. Let's take this off, but just hold everything for now. What does our orbital data say? Yeah, our apoapsis is a little high, altitude is high. It's good enough for now. I don't know. Let's see if we can find something. So again, we'll open up our sensors. Anyway, while I'm trying to do, I want to show you, notice that I now have this ops D-link. I think the idea is certain objects are sort of transmitting, I guess, like a transponder code, so that you can get so this is saying something in this system is transmitting a transponder code, and you can get information here. Now, you can see right now I'm getting no information because I don't have anything selected. And if I click it again, if I set something as a target, and I got other objects coming in here too, even further away. One of these, let's see if we can attempt to lock on him. Okay, I got a lock on him. Oh, that is a station. Oh wait, target, let's selected. I assume that means that has to be a station. So what we need to do is we need to look at its orbital information. So it's at an altitude of, I don't know, in around 850 kilometers. So we are in a really kind of a goofier you know what I want to do is I want to actually put myself into a relatively circular altitude. And you want to put yourself into an orbit that's different from this orbit. That will allow you you'll be going around the planet now at different speeds, and that will help you to time the rendezvous, because if you're in identical orbits, then you'll just say relatively in the same position to each other. You want to be moving relative to each other, so that means being in different orbits. I'm going to put myself, because my periapsis is already here at 434, I'm going to put myself, or try to put myself, into a circular orbit. I'm going to do this old school. So here we go. We're going to keep this on an orbital reference. We're going to point this to retrograde. We're going to engage that guy. This will point us retrograde, and we're just going to do this manually because I'm only about 2 minutes from my periapsis. I was going to get it to do it for me, but I think what I'll do is just point retrograde. Should be pointing retrograde now. I think it's close enough. Oh, there it goes. Made a final little adjustment. And what I want to do is bring down my apoapsis so that it is relatively close to being the same as my periapsis. Okay. Time warp a little bit closer. Again, I'm looking at this time to periapsis, which is my lowest point in my orbit. I don't know, we'll get that around 30 seconds or so, I think. And I want to burn in a forward direction, so make sure we're going to still use the main engines for this because they are so much more efficient than the maneuvering thrusters. The maneuvering thrusters are more powerful, but the main engines are more efficient. And then we're going to hold shift and equals to increase. There you can see our periapsis going down. I do want to watch my engine meters here. I don't want to run at 100% thrust. Okay, cut throttle. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so now we are in an orbit, roughly pretty close to being circular. Let's get our scanners back on. And he is in an orbit higher than us. So that means we are catching up to him. Let's spin. Oh, wait. Gotta turn this off. So we are spinning towards him, which is actually, I think, pretty good right now because remember there he is there. This is prograde around the planet this way. We're roughly getting close to pointing prograde, so that means we're catching up to them. That's actually a really, really good thing. Well, this is now my second sunrise. This central axis relative velocity here, this about 470 odd meters per second, that's been staying relatively constant. If you want that number to be higher, just put yourself in a more different orbit than I am. If you take a look at our two orbital velocities, I'm at around 720 meters per second for my orbital velocity. He is in around my station, I don't know, what's that, 6,857 meters per second, so that's why our difference isn't too much. If you put yourself in a much more different orbit than your target, then this will go more quickly. Now, notice that my target vector here is closing in on my prograde vector here. That is a good thing. We're getting close. What I want to do is actually let my prograde vector dip below. Remember, this guy is in the higher orbit. So I'm going to let my prograde vector dip below my target vector. My relative velocity vector is still out here. There's my target relative velocity vector. It is slowly closing in. I want it to end up being pointing off in this direction relative to the target. Oh, now my prograde vector looks like it's below. Is it below? Oh no, it moves around a bit as you point. It's getting close. You know, if you wait to the point that this guy is on this guy, you've waited too long if their relative prograde vector is on it. If I let this go a little bit, the idea is I'm going to burn prograde, raise my apoapsis to about his altitude, which is about 850 kilometers, hopefully do half an orbit, and then we will meet up with him. I think I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to stop time warping. Hopefully I have not been too impatient. I'm going to put this on my orbital prograde vector. There we go. And it's close enough, I suppose. And then we're going to use our main engines to raise our altitude or apoapsis up to about 850 kilometers. So went a little bit too far. That's okay. We're going to put on our reverse thrusters. Yep. We're going to give a little bit of acceleration in the opposite direction. That's close enough. Okay, let's take reverse thrusters off again. Get in the habit, if you ever use the reverse thrusters, to immediately take them off, because it's so easy to just sort of forget you're in reverse and start burning towards something. Oh my god, I'm backwards. So now, in theory, we should be doing half an orbit and coming very close to our target. And from there, we'll just use our maneuvering thruster system to really close the gap. Okay. Getting a little bit, let's stop the time warping. Getting a little bit concerned. We are getting close to about 1,000 kilometers away. But what I don't like is I've been noticing this prograde vector is, or this target prograde vector is moving towards the normal vector, which means that I am missing it. My timing is a little bit off. So what we're going to do, so we're just going to use our main engines. We're going to burn, whoa, that's too far. Come back here. We're going to burn a little bit towards the planet, a little bit prograde. Be nice if I could actually, I guess I can watch it on here. Let's start doing this. And the idea is that we're going to be starting to pull, here I can see it here, accelerate up. want to pull that prograde vector towards my target. Now, in doing this, I am affecting my orbit, but I'm sort of abandoning that idea. Hopefully, impatience didn't get the better of me. That's usually my problem. And what I'm watching is my relative velocity, which is increasing. But this is not so much about increasing relative velocity as it is about pulling that prograde vector in this direction. Okay, let's cut throttle. See how we're doing here. Oh, it's getting pretty close now. That's nice. Okay. Let's use a lot. Point that way. Thrust in this direction for a little bit. Oh, I'm not paying attention. Of course. Oh my gosh. It's the blue dot. That's where I'm pointed. I was looking at the white dot, but the white dot, of course, is where my eyes are pointed. It's this blue dot I should be paying attention to. Okay, I think this is pretty good. I'm going to switch to maneuvering thrusters here. So, equal sign for maneuvering thrusters. Pull that a little bit more this way. Only 800 kilometers. That's still a lot. Watch propellant down here as I use this. Doing okay. I think I might have overthrusted with the main engines. A little bit past it, because I got a feeling it's going to drift that way. Okay, let's cut engines. There we go. Okay, let's declutter our display. I don't think we need all this prograde, retrograde. Yeah. Let it go like this for a little bit. You also have to be a little careful not to blast right past your object. But I think I'm now doing pretty good. Actually, why don't we let the station know we're coming? So we'll transmit here on an open channel. Space traffic control. Announce our presence. Come in, over. Hopefully we'll get a reply. This is control, we copy, over. Excellent. What else we got here? Let's again go for an open channel. Space traffic control. We are on approach, hopefully. What is he going to say to that? Continue inbound. Contact us on 4592. Oh, they're giving us frequencies. Okay, that's good. I'm going to, the one I'm a little bit concerned with, I'm going to start slowing down a little. Oh my god, my engines are still on. Oh my lord, no wonder we're going so fast. I think I turned off. Okay, we're going to slow down. Let's put these maneuvering thrusters on reverse. Slow down, Charlie. Oh my gosh, I had my main engines on that whole time. I think I ended up turning off the maneuvering thrusters but left the main engines on. Okay, gotta slow ourselves down here. We're only 340 kilometers. I'm not gonna, at this point, I don't want to blow this. Slow down, come on, put it right on there. Shoot. Let's get our main engines involved in the party. Okay, thrust equals. Oh my gosh. Don't blow this now. I need to really knock it off relative velocity here. Alright. Alright. Let's push it down there. Okay, shutting off main engines, shutting off maneuvering thrusters. Are they off now, for goodness sakes? Yes. Okay. Okay, I think I've saved this. All right. Now let's use our maneuvering thrusters to actually accelerate a little bit. I killed off a little bit too much. That's okay. It's better to come in too slow than too fast. Oh, I'm still in reverse, of course. God dang it. Remember what I told you about reverse? Reverse. Reverse. Okay, forward. There we go. There should be a great big display right across this screen. You are in reverse. Now, he gave us a frequency to talk to him at. Why don't we put that in? Go here. 4592. 45. 9. And 2. Set that. Okay, now we can communicate. Oh, look at that. Nice. Alrighty. So just use some reverse thrust there. Push that prograde vector closer to my target. We're about 10 kilometers away now. This should be getting pretty easy. I think we're well over the hump now. Let's see what maneuvering thrusters are doing. That's reverse. Yeah, W is going forward with. Can I? Oh, you can stop. Okay, now I'm using translational controls. You can actually. That's nice. So you can start to dial that in with translational controls. We are 6 kilometers away. Let's slow down here. So S. So rather than using those main maneuvering thrusters, the big maneuvering thrusters, we're just using our RCS system. There we go. Just point right at our target. Actually, I think I can get this thing to point at the target. Let's see. Target. Target prograde? Oh no. Let's try that. Doesn't like it. Shoot. Let's try this one. Oh, whatever. Okay, stop. Oh, shit. Slow, 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 slow. We're blowing right past the station. Ah, you idiot. Started fiddling around with the autopilots. Thankfully, we shouldn't be going too fast. Where's that station go? Where did it? There it is. Okay. Let's thrust in towards it. Oh my gosh, what a dope. Okay, pay attention to what you're doing. Imagine if I crashed into it. Oh, I bet you they wouldn't be happy with me then. Half a kilometer, 500 meters away. And you know what? I think that will make a good point for us to conclude this video. The next video, we're going to dock with this thing, and we're going to shut everything down. In the meantime, I thank you for watching, and hope to see you again next time.